Hello to you. I'm Jesse Johnson. An economic tsunami is coming. No, not the end of the world. Many will think it though. When it happens, there will be hell to pay. Humans, based on incompetence, sickness of greed, and blind evil, have produced world economic systems of economic toxicity. For the USA, a tsunami is coming, economic-wise. No getting around it. Many claim to know what caused world wars and other wars between 1860 and 2020. When money was pegged to gold, 1865, 1915, the world's economies were very stable. But the rich could not manipulate the system in a stable economic world. Why? Because money was pegged to gold. Gold, silver, and land are the only true and real forms of money. Every other form of money is a derivative of that and therefore fake and toxic to different degrees. Therefore, the more unstable and toxic the economies, the same as the bonds, stocks, ETFs, paper fiat money, paper gold, etc., which are part of the capital markets. They are fake and toxic economically. World War I was planned and created 15 years before it took place. Why? To destabilize the world's stable economy, specifically to make the rich richer. This is the reason. Because stable economies cannot be manipulated enough to do so. The Vietnam War was planned and created over oil some 10 years before it took place, over oil and drugs, because the USA didn't want China and Russia getting either one. Especially the oil. The Afghanistan conflict was because over 90% of the world's opium is contained there. This is the reason Russia entered Afghanistan. The USA's civil war was over money. The South had 1 million free United States American citizens, workers, in the form of African Americans enslaved by the European Americans. In other words, the South had 1 million free workers and wanted to succeed or become a nation unto itself because of this. It was planned 10 to 15 years before it took place by the central banks of Europe. Divide and conquer the USA into two parts and manipulate both sides. The purpose? To have a central bank in the United States and to control and own the United States' economy. Why? To convince the political government to let it print its paper money and mint its coin money against its own constitution, which is unchanged to this day. A world war destabilizes the world's economies, giving reasons for a central bank. Central banks produce all depressions, recessions, inflation, deflation, stagflation, fiat money, and makes derivatives of all kinds possible. In other words, making the rich richer by leaps and bounds. To continue, the USA's economy is owned and controlled by those who own and control central banks. The difference between communism and capitalism is communism is run and controlled by the government. Capitalism is run and controlled by banks. In 1971, then President of the U.S., Richard Nixon, took the dollar off the gold standard. Completely off of the gold standard. When his administration did this, the USA's money became toxic fiat money. And at that point, all other countries started losing confidence in the USA's money. This act was to make the rich richer, because the best and strongest ways to do this is with fake, toxic money. Using toxic capital markets of fakes, false assets such as derivatives, robbery of worker pensions, etc. There are two types of gold. One, paper gold, and two, real gold. The price of paper gold is about $1,500 per ounce at present. The price of real gold is about $22,000 per ounce at 100% pegged to paper money, or about $9,000 per ounce at 40% pegged to paper money at present, using the 6 largest economies as a guide. There are two major values to all money, ancient of ancient time to the present. One, commodities and services value, and two, confidence value. On April 30th, 2017, the United States paper money was $0.00, commodities and services value wise. Hold on for a second, please. Hold on for just a second, please. Now, to continue. Based on paper gold, now, and has about 63% confidence left in value. The commodities and services value of the United States of America dollar was $0.00 in 1971 based on real gold, which is reason for paper gold, which is used to suppress the price of real gold. Real gold, once again, is about $8,000 to $9,000 an ounce, at present at 40% pegged to the 6 major economies of the world's paper money. Every country that deals in fiat money, money without gold backing, is dealing in toxic economics. The most stable economy and economies are economies based on 100% gold standard pegging backing, which would last for 10,000 to 20,000 years or more in stability, not the 5 to 30 years constant and continuous unstable economies at present, using toxic fake fiat money. The Constitution, unchanged to this day, states the political government via its treasury shall print its money. Instead, a private bank with stockholders prints and charges the interest to do so. The political government don't have stockholders. Cartels are illegal in the United States, yet the Federal Reserve Bank is a cartel banking head and have been so since 1913. Its stated purpose is toward the welfare of other banks, not and never the United States as a nation or its citizens. Hold on, please. Now to continue, the USA has enemies far and wide. The greatest enemy of the U.S., the most destructive, is the Federal Reserve Bank, which has brought the United States of America to its knees in 106 years. All the countries of the world couldn't do this in 106 years, even though they tried like hell. When the dollar was taken from gold in 1971, it made it 100% fiat and toxic dollars. At that point, almost at the point of being worthless, the dollar became debt money. Debt money is an asset for banks, not you. You owe them. Debt is an asset for credit card companies, not you. You owe them. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. A house, a car, a credit card, etc. are liabilities. They do not give money, they take money from you. But what happens when people lose their jobs and means of money support and can't pay? In other words, the USA economy and the world economies in general are debt economies. Almost all of them on the verge of collapse. Why? Because the debts are so high and never can be paid back by its people or governments. Extreme greed, extreme evil, which is extreme uncaringness toward others. The IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, is to help out, but the IMF's SDRs, or special drawing rights money, is also toxic fiat money without anything to back it up. The penalty is unstable economies to make the rich richer. No middle class, only three classes. The richest of the rich class, the lower class, and the destitute class. When the economic tsunami crash comes, it will be approximately 140 times deeper than the crash of 2008. Why? Because it will be a 10 to the 15th power. In other words, a quadrillion-dollar crash instead of a $10 trillion crash. And the few richest of the rich, and the few richest rich will profit because they're the ones who set it up in the first place. Now, to brace yourself for this, you need to turn about 85% of all your cash to gold and silver, or real money. Buy first, number one, Canadian maple leaf at 0.9999 pure gold and 0.9999 pure silver in 1/10 ounce denominations. That's 1/10 of an ounce, that is. At present, 1/10 of an ounce of gold is about $150 to $160. 1/10 of an ounce of silver is about $21 per ounce. $150 to $160 an ounce, that is. The real money, this is real money, as insurance against the coming economic tsunami. This crash will make the US dollar almost at the point of being utterly worthless. The rich are getting ready for the storm. They are getting ready for the starvation and the riots and everything else. So should you. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, and I want you to have a good day. Share this video, please, and subscribe, of course, and more than this, have a very good day.